Hello, this is Bill Brown, and this is our lesson on what I did last Sunday, and this is for the Sunday of July 5th, 2015. For this past Sunday, I played the guitar, and I did everything on the Taylor here. We didn't have a bass player, we did have a conga player, and we had two vocalists in addition to myself. We got a pretty full sound, mainly because on the Taylor I was able to add some effects, which you hear a little bit of a reverb. And we got the sound man to dial in a little more bass end to give me a punchier bass line. And on the Taylor, the under the saddle pickup is the best one to use for that. It also has a little microphone built into it as well. It just wasn't fat and punchy enough. It was too boxy sounding, which sometimes you want that. But in this case, I need the bass to be real tight because it was emulating a bass guitar a little bit. And because I used that pickup, the sound man was able to dial in probably about somewhere between 85 to 100 hertz, real narrow bandwidth, so it just gives a little bit of a punch. And it replaced the bass player as much as one can without actually having the bass player. The song list started off with Whom Shall I Fear? And I did that in the key of E. And the intro I love to do with this is this one. And probably on this one on my effects pedal, I added in a little more chorus. Let me turn that on so you can hear that. And it's the same setting I just had, except a chorus. So you get a little more of a swirly effect. As far as the technique, what I'm doing is I'm separating the chord into a bass line and a chord line, almost like a left hand and right hand. And these work together. I keep them real close to the guitar. I don't hold them out like a classical style, which would be more like this. It's more like this. And you'll see John Mayer and Mark Knopfler use this style a lot, as well as a lot of other modern players. But it gives you a real tight chord. The hand, it doesn't move as much either. It's stationary. I'm resting it here on the bridge. And what I'm doing here, let me slow that down. So they hit together, but after that, they don't hit again until the very, very end. This first chord is an E chord, and I'm building it by laying my third finger across the fourth, third, and second strings, 9th fret. And that's the only three strings I'm hitting with the chord section of my right hand. I'm not using the first string. Then for the B chord, I'm using an F shape in that same area. And you can see I'm in fret 7, 8, and 9 on strings 2, 3, and 4. And because I'm only hitting those strings, I don't worry about the first string. Then for the A, I just go down 2 frets, so same chord, 2 frets slower, and then back up to the B. And that serves as the intro and also for the verse where it goes, I will seek you, Lord. I'm in my youth. And does it again. You, Lord. I'll proclaim and again, for you searched and found me. I was far away. Keep doing it both times. You always keep me in the right here. I went to strumming full chords. And so we have an E, F sharp minor 7 suspended. And let's talk about this one. We've used this if you are one of our regular students. We'll have this in I Could Sing of Your Love Forever. If you do Sweet Melissa by the Allman Brothers, Make It With You by Brad. That's finger 1, string 3, fret 2. And then I have the 3rd and 4th fingers on strings 5 and 4, 4th frets, strum all 6 strings. I went ahead and brought my thumb around here to pick up the F sharp on the 6th string. Then up to an A2, also A add 2. Finger 1, you're on the 6th string, 5th fret. Finger 2, you're on the 3rd string, 1 fret higher, so 6th fret. Finger 3, 5th string, 7th fret. Finger 4, 4th string, 7th fret. First 2 strings are open. So when it comes off of that last line where it says, and in my troubled times, you always keep me safe. Oh, oh. And then I go up 2 frets from that A2 up into the 7th, 8th, and 9th frets. Same hand shape, but this now gives me a B suspended chord. And then we do that again. Oh, oh, oh. We can use this for the chorus as well. The Lord is my light, my salvation. I fear. And the pattern's down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down, down. And this time when I go back to the intro, I don't go back to this. I go to this. Now what I'm doing here is I'm taking basically my E chord shape here, switching the fingers out so that I have a finger free. Move it up here. That gives me my A chord. That gives me my B chord. And there's an E chord. So let's go through these again. For the E, which actually I'll start off with, I have my 3rd finger on the 5th string, 14th fret. So look for your double dots. That'll be your 12th fret. Go 2 frets higher. My 4th finger is right underneath it. 4th string, 14th fret. Finger 2, you're on the 3rd string, 13th fret. Everything else is open. Then when I get ready for the B chord, I slide this down until it's in the 9th fret. 9th and 8th. I need to add in the 1st finger, though, onto the 2nd string, 7th fret. So this is still an F shape, but I added in the 5th string as well. Then I take all of this down 2 frets from my A2 and back up. Notice I'm keeping the E in the bass the whole time. Then I can get that rhythm back just by accenting the fretting hand. So I'm just squeezing whenever I want to hear the notes. That serves as a good second intro once you have the energy built up. The next song was Holy is the Lord God Almighty, and this is a standard. So it's your G add 5, C add 9, E minor 7D. That one little lick I like to use a lot though. I'm taking my D chord, 4/4 strum. Now that's the D suspended, so I added in my 4th finger to the 1st string, 3rd fret. I'll hit it, pull it off, and then I'll play the 2nd string, 3rd, and then pull it off. So I have. Then I can go up to the 4th string with my 4th finger in the 4th fret. And then pull it off. And then do a pull off there on the 5th string, 2nd fret to open. Nice little lick for the D chord. Another one I'll use a lot is, I can't always get it, but that's using harmonics on the 7th fret and the 5th fret. So I'm on the 7th fret, 4th, 3rd, 2nd string, and then I go to the 3rd string, 5th, and then come back to the 2nd string, 7th fret, 3rd, 4th. And it usually is best to do that if you have a pedal that has a compressor on it, so it'll even out your volume. Also, I probably did not have a lot of chorus and stuff on that one, so I'm going to cut it off real quickly and go back to just the original setting, which isn't quite as intense with the effects. Then when it goes to that part where it says, and together we sing. Now there's the A add 2, then a C add 9, Everyone sing. Let me show you that lick. If you ever did the song D by Randy Rhoads, we've already kind of learned it. That's your hammer on pull off on the third string. So I'm starting on the third string second, hammering to the fourth, pulling back off to the second, and then pulling it off so I hear the third string open. So the best fingers for that are fingers 1 and 3. Then when I get to the fourth and fifth strings, I just do pull off. And on the fourth string, that's a pull off 4-2 open. On the fifth string, though, I have to use the third fret. So third, second, then open. And then if you have time, top string, third, second. And then back into the song. If you don't have time, just stop it wherever you can. But that's how the lick Beethoven goes. And I can do it just about without thinking about it now from doing it all these years. That works really good there, coming off that. Together we sing. Everyone sing. For holy is the Lord, God Almighty. The earth is filled with His glory. Holy is the Lord. And that one's pretty much the same after that. What I do on the bridge that's really nice is this. And that's where it goes. It's rising up all around. It's the anthem of the Lord's renown. Now on the chord sheet, it's going to show up as a G, D with an F sharp in the bass, F add 9, C with the E in the bass. What I'm doing is I'm taking a D shape up here to the 7th fret, which gives me a G chord. For my bass note, I'm letting the fourth string open, just drone, which makes it a D. For my next chord, this will be my substitute for the D, which it is a D, but it's a B flat shape in frets 5 and 7. So finger 1, you're on the first string 5th fret. Finger 2, you're on the third string 7th. Third string, you're on the second string 7th. That'll be our D chord. For the F, we'll do the same thing we did for the G, just in the 5th fret. So it's the F shape again, but it's in frets 5 and 6. And then for the C, we'll use the B flat shape again, but now in frets 3 and 5. So now I have string 1, fret 3, and then the third and second strings are the 5th fret. And that'll be what I use for my C chord. Rising up all around, it's the anthem of the Lord's renown. And then I'll do that again, and then to build it, I'll play my chords down here. All around, it's the anthem of the Lord's renown. So for the G, I'll just use a G add 5. For the D, I need a D with an F sharp in the bass. So we'll just take a D chord, hook the thumb around the back of the neck to the 2nd fret. That gives me the F sharp. For the F, add 2, F add 9, we're going to do this. Thumb, once again, is giving me the 6th string, 1st fret. Finger 3, you're on the 4th string, 3rd fret. 3rd string, you're open. And then my first finger is barring the first 2 strings, 1st fret. And then for the C with the E in the bass, we just play a standard old C chord, but make sure we have the top string open with it. That'll give us the E in the bass. So what happens, the 6th string is descending. It's rising up all around. It's the anthem of. And that's what I do with that bridge. And I do it however many times I feel like the congregation wants to stay there. And then from there, it's just the same. I did do something really cool, though, on the a cappella chorus. Holy is the Lord, God Almighty. The earth is filled with His glory. Holy is the Lord, God Almighty. I'll use my harmonics. So I'll start off. There's my harmonics for my G chord, 12th fret, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. Okay. Nothing I could really do on the C, but when I got to the D, if you give me harmonics on the 7th fret, once again, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, that's a D chord. For the E minor, the harmonics on the first 3 strings are in E minor. So you still lead with the 6th string open. So that's something cool you can work on. Let's move on to the next song. That I May Dwell. This is one that I teach here in the studio, and it takes a long time to learn this song, but let me kind of go through it quickly. It's kind of a John Mayer style. And so what you're essentially doing is the same thing we did on that intro for Whom Shall I Fear? Chord, bass. Sometimes they hit together, sometimes they split. So hitting together there. Another thing that's real distinctive of the style is me re-engaging the strings and giving me a little dead stroke. So it has a little percussive background. Now the chords are G, add 5 with the B and the bass. So I just have these two little fingers down here, and I'll hammer into the 5th string 2nd fret. And then there's your C add 9, E minor 7. I just use one finger for a couple reasons. One is I can actually get 2 strings with one finger. The other is I'm not hitting it. I'm splitting the chord with a 6, and the pinch is just the first 3 strings. But I do not want them open, because with this much percussion going on the guitar, they'll still bleed through, and they're really not the right notes. So I need a finger there doing something. I'm not necessarily fretting it hard enough to play it, but killing it for sure. For the D, that's just a full pinch. This is on the 4th string. And so you have, you set me apart, gave me a new heart. And we build into the chorus. That I may dwell in your house forever, lifting up your name. Dwell in your house forevermore. So let's break some of that down. That I may dwell. I'm just sliding up till I get a C on the top string, 8th fret, and then my 4th finger, my little finger, is reaching out so I can play harmonics. First 3 strings, 12th fret. Then D, E minor, C add 9, D, E minor 7, and that's just a hammer on, 5th string, 4th, 3rd string open, 2nd frets, C add 9, and this time I'm sliding the thumb up to the top string, 8th fret, and building a D shape on the first 3 strings starting in the 7th fret, so 7th and 8th fret. This is a C major 9. You could also think of it as a G with a C in the bass. I'm splitting the chord, thumb, then chord. Then D, E minor, D, C. Then while keeping the C add 9 down, I'm getting my harmonics on the first 2 strings, 15th fret. And these are artificial harmonics, which means my left hand stays on the chord. My right hand is going to take the index finger and lightly touch over the right fret wire, 15th fret, and my thumb is going to pluck the string. And then I'll do the same thing for the 2nd string. So my index finger is fully extended so I can get some distance between it and the thumb. But I'm using the tip of the index finger to touch lightly those strings individually, and the thumb plucks the string. But that's the 15th fret, not the 12th, because with artificial harmonics, you need to stay 12 frets above what your fretting hand is holding down. So that's why I'm in the 15th fret. Then we'll do the same thing for the next verse, next chorus. The bridge is E minor 7, Holy Spirit, D with an F sharp, G with a B, C add 9, E minor 7, D with F sharp, G, C, B with a G, or G with a B in the bass. So that's pretty much straight ahead, same style, just with those chords. Then we had Take My Life and Let It Be, and this is an old hymn that worked out really good. So I have a C chord. Actually, I added the 4th finger onto the 1st string. So that's 5th, 3rd, then the first 2 strings together, third, and then pinch. Then the next chord was a G chord with a C in the bass. And all I have to do is take off fingers 1 and 2. Then we have an F chord with a C in the bass. I think I kept the G down for that. So let's do that, make that an F add 9. So grab an F chord, but put the third finger on the 5th string, so we can still keep that C. And add the 4th finger to the 1st string, 3rd fret. And then back to the G. Then for your verses, take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to Thee. Take my moments and my days, let them flow in ceaseless praise. Let them flow in ceaseless praise. So I'm keeping the C chord down just like I did during the intro. For the pattern, I'm doing a little more. Such as 5-3, pinch 3, 5-3, pinch 3. And the pinch is these two fingers, your middle two fingers on the first two strings. There's your G with the C in the bass, F with the C in the bass, back to the C. Then we need a C chord with the E in the bass. All that changes is the thumb moves to the 6th, then to an F. And for this, I need to bring the thumb in to pick up the top string 1st fret. And then Lord, to Thee is a C chord with a G in the bass, followed by a G, and then a C. So the C chord with a G in the bass, you just take your regular C chord, but move the 3rd finger up to the 6th string 3rd fret, and that becomes your bass note. And because there's only one beat on each of these, I'll be playing the chord and the bass together. So thumb will play 6, index will play 4, middle finger you play 3rd, ring finger you play 2nd. Then for the G, I take everything off but the 3rd finger, and then I go back to a regular C chord, which means my thumb now has to move back to the 5th string. Then take my moments, there's my G with the C in the bass. So once again, I have only the 5th string down and the 1st string 3rd fret down. My F with a C in the bass, so my 3rd finger stays on the 5th string, then back to the C. Then for let them flow in ceaseless praise, that's that C with the E in the bass again. There's the F, I bring in the thumb, a C with a G in the bass, and then a G. And then let them flow in ceaseless. That's an A minor, so the thumb needs to move to the 5th string. A G with the B in the bass. There's really only 2 fingers, the 5th string 2nd, 2nd string 3rd. I'm pinching 5, 4, 3, and 2. Then a C chord, and I'll pinch 5, 3, 2, and 1. F chord, I bring the thumb in, 6, 3, 2, 1. Then a C chord with a G in the bass, and then a G, and then I do my intro again. We have some more verses. On the 3rd verse, I wanted to modulate. So I do it just like I did the other verses, but at the very end of it, I'll need to put in a little modulation chord change. So I'm going to do this on that last line where it goes, every power as thou shalt, and we do this, choose. Then right here, and you can hear this moving us to a different key. So we had the C, the G with the C in the bass, F with the C in the bass, and then right here, instead of going back to the G with the C in the bass, I took a F shape on the first 3 strings, put it in the 3rd fret, and put an A in the bass, 5th string. So I'll have, then I can move it up 2 frets, and there's my A chord, and from there, I'll go to the key of D. So if I go from that last line, every power as thou shalt choose. Then take my will and make it mine, or thine. It shall be no longer mine. Take my heart, it is thine own. It shall be thy royal throne. It shall be thy royal throne. So we have a D. Then an A with a D in the bass. I use that F shape that uses only 3 strings, but in the 5th fret. So I have the 4th string open, take it down 2 frets. This will be a G with a D in the bass, and then back to my D. Then I have a D with an F sharp in the bass. Bring the thumb around the back of the neck to give me the top string 2nd fret. Still keep the D chord. Then I go to the G. Then I have a D chord with an A in the bass. Just take a regular D chord. For the A in the bass, the 5th string becomes your thumb's note. Then I have an A, and then back to my D. Then take my heart, A with a D, G with a D, back to the D, D with an F sharp, G, D with an A in the bass, and then an A. Then we have this, it shall be thy, that's a B minor. Because I'm finger picking, I'm not going to worry about getting a really good bar. I'm going to treat it as just a 3-note chord. It has the same notes in it as a B minor, but it's a lot easier to get to, and especially if you're finger picking, you don't have to really worry about notes you don't want. So finger 1, you're on the 5th string, 2nd fret. Finger 3, you're on the 4th string, 4th fret. Finger 2, you're on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Picking hand, I'll just pick 5, 4, and 2. Then I'll have an A chord with a C sharp in the bass. And I'm going to treat it as an A add 2. So I have my 3rd finger, 5th string, 4th fret. My 1st finger is aiming for the 4th and 3rd strings, 2nd fret. If you can't get them all, do aim for the 3rd string for sure, because you want to be able to pick 5, 3, 2, and 1 here. Then D and G, D with the A in the bass, A, and then our intro. And that's a D, an A with a D in the bass, so that's that F shape in the 5th fret, a G with a D in the bass, that's the F shape in the 3rd fret, and then back up to the A. And of course with all of these, the 4th string has to stay open. That's our bass note. And then for the offertory, we did a song called At the Foot of the Cross. Well, not offertory, but communion, excuse me. And that's one by Catherine Scott that goes, at the foot of the cross, where grace and suffering meet, so my basic pattern, so 5, 4, then 3 and 2, and then 1 by itself. Either one works. Let's do that. Keeps it to the inside. So 5, 4, 3, pinch first 2 strings, 5, 4, and then pinch 3 and 2. Then B minor, G, and D, A, B minor 7, G, and then A, and you've won my heart. And that's E minor, D with an F sharp, G, and then the second time we have this. This is a G add 2, or G6 in my case, with an A in the bass. And That's fifth string open, third string open, second string open, first string open. So basically everything open. Then you go into your chorus. Trade these ashes in for beauty and wear forgiveness like a crown. B minor, then A minor, A, then R, D. And another verse. Let me show that one like I put on the E minor. You had the trade these ashes in for beauty. So take the E minor and go 6, 5, 4, and then slide that one up 2 frets. Follow that with a third string right away. And then pinch 1 and 2. And the rest of the song is pretty much that. You can follow the chord chart, but it's a rhythm pattern, 5, 4, pinch 4. Except that one place I showed you where I did something a little more on the inside. And that's what I did last Sunday. This is Bill Brown for Guitar by Ear. Keep picking, stay in touch, and God bless.